That's how we started shit off today.
That's exactly how
That's how we started shit off today. Let's meet the brave.
Taco bar.
You good? Lex is good.
Let's do it.
L, you good?
I'm good.
Poe, you good?
How y'all doing?
Yeah.
Monty, you good? No, I'm not good. Nigga.
Nah, the Consuelo though is the what's the name though? Is the bowl that has the chicken, beef, shrimp.
Oh, that's not even a drink, nigga. That's some food.
Nah, I did have a drink though, but
No, I thought you had the bowl with all the shit in it.
oh, the one that you put the what's name in?
The big fish bowl joint.
Oh no, nigga, that's the
Remember those?
Yeah, no, they got them shits. They got the shits.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's
more,
what I thought you was talking
It's no
about.
that shit's a margarita though. Like it's a form of the margarita.
No, G. You talking about something that actually makes sense. The margarita makes sense. It's places that give you the big ass bowl with like 4 or 5 straws, and that shit be blue. Like, but it's hella different alcohols in there.
Oh, that's a hard no.
Yeah.
Nigga, where you got that? Nigga, that shit sound like sound like death, nigga.
And then give you an orange slice and make it all good.
Garnish it off with an orange
Nigga,
slice.
no.
That nigga said orange slice.
All right, let's do it. Meet the Brave Podcast, episode 37.
37.
It is 37.
Yeah,
I'm
it is.
your host, Monty Draper, and with my co-host, Juan Poe.
What up? What up?
No IGLG, what up?
What's good?
Lex Bub, how you feeling, man? You keeping us lit, man. I appreciate you. Want to send a shout out to everybody that's listening on Apple Podcasts. If you're listening on Stitcher, if you're streaming directly through Simplecast, Google Play, and for all the YouTube viewership, shout out to y'all. All like 14 of y'all. We getting there though. Consistency is key.
Hey man, I appreciate y'all. I got a lot of conversation this week about our topics. What's funny though is that people are like catching up to our podcast, so they're wanting to talk to us about stuff that happened a while ago. But shout out to y'all though, man. When y'all catch up, man, y'all can definitely stay on par. What we're talking about right now.
It's all about doing it in real time, because if you tell me something about 3 episodes ago, I can't help you because I don't know what you're talking about. Everybody that wants to watch on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, Monty Draper, youtube.com/Monty Draper. And then there is a Meet the Brave podcast playlist that you can subscribe to. And then you'll get notified every Wednesday. If shit goes right, Wednesday is our day for the YouTube videos. But then y'all know how we do Monday mornings is our mornings for the audio.
Yeah.
Nah, man, I realized we just gave them new shit without talking about all the new shit. It's like like we the chick that disappears for 2 months and then just pops back up. You
Pop
like,
back up
damn,
on the radar. Yeah.
you was at Miami for sure. Like Miami or Mexico. Well, I don't know where they're going now these days to get all the enhancements, but that's definitely what we did. We disappeared and then popped back up with all the shit, and everybody.
It depends on who paying for it.
Yeah, it's like man, what happened to y'all? Nah, but it's dope, man.
Damn, Coates.
We fully out here rocking. Yeah, how was y'all week, fellas?
Struggle, trying to breathe.
Man, we can start there. We text last night in the group chat talking about the death toll of the fire, and it was at 74, and then as of this morning, it just crept over 80. And it feels like as they keep going through it and trying to recap from it, they're going to find more body, which is not what you hope for, but it seems that way, because every time I literally when we were in the group chat, that was probably like 10:30 last night, and then as of this morning it had crept up another few. It was at like 74 when we talked last night, and then this morning it was just over 80. And that's not even taking into account the missing people that they can't account for. They're talking upwards of 1,100 people that they can't account for that are missing. So just from a numbers, just from mathematics, you would assume that fatality number would creep up. just based off of how many people they still can't account for. And it's really, really sad. We touched on it as much as we could last week. It's if you're not here and not around the air and can't see the smoke and watching the news and all that, like none of that shit does it justice in terms of how it's affecting people, man. And it's heartbreaking. You don't even know what to say. You don't know what to say to people that are having to uproot their lives and are dealing with the losses. It's extremely tragic. The biggest fire in history, and you got to think about it. When you're here, you know about all of the fires the wildfires that take place in California. So for them to say this is the biggest one in history, it's just like it sort of puts it in perspective, but still, it's hard to really see it be doing any justice in terms of an explanation and how much your heart is going out to the families and all the loved ones that have lost people or lost their livelihood essentially, you know. And so our hearts go out to all of you, and shit, man. There are actual ways to donate, like real ways to donate. You always hear about Red Cross and all these other things, and I know that turns people off. But if you do your research, do your Googles. I'll put something in the description too of how you can actually be hands on with donating and helping people put their lives back together.
Yeah, shout out to the folks that was doing the groundwork themselves too.
Yep.
I saw
on the ground fighting the fire.
Yeah, there was also folks that was like out there for the loose pets and stuff like that was putting together their own raising funds to go ahead and take care of that as well. So yeah, it's a lot of people that's wanting to do more and they're doing it. So shout out to everyone.
Lex, we talked about something after the show. I think you called me. So was that Monday or Tuesday? You called me, and you were saying that they're actually having inmates fight the fires.
Yep.
And
yeah, I saw that.
You guys saw that as well.
I knew somebody that fought in the last fire in that.
That was a former
former inmate.
Wow.
It cut down some of your time.
It does
like
cut
work release.
It's work release. I think since everybody read it, please correct me if I'm wrong, but there isn't. Once you are released, there isn't a transition program that allow you to become a firefighter.
Hell no. You got a record.
Yeah, no, you got a record.
Wow.
They get paid like $1 a day for fighting the fires and shit.
And if they die, their family don't get nothing.
Yeah.
Like, since they were in jail, the family died.
Lex is off mic and he's informing us that if these inmates that they have fight the fires as part of their work release, if in fighting the fire they pass, nothing, their family isn't awarded anything, and it's oh fuck, man. To take it's gonna be a sharp turn from talking about the fire to talking about the system and everything, but it just highlights the hey, we're gonna abolish slavery and move on, but what history doesn't tell you is how the prison system, and excuse the maintenance that's happening outside. I'll do my best to EQ it out, but what people don't talk about in revisiting history and documenting it is that once slavery was abolished, that's when we see the business of imprisonment take fold. So you you would see it to where they would enforce curfew. Something as simple as a curfew being out could get you on a chain gang and completely change your life. And we talk about the amendments and your rights to vote and everything. There had to be another way. Okay, if this one thing we've been having rocking for all these years that's seen help with the upkeep of farms and agriculture, and now we can't get that free labor anymore. How do we shift said free labor? And that's where you see where the free labor is shifted to. So when you talk about fighting fires, when you talk about mass productions of particular agriculture, of goods, license plates, all the shit. If you want to know who's producing that shit, you're the inmates, and it's like something stupid, 10 cents a day or whatever they're making to produce these things. So that's when you see the profit margins and why they can produce shit at mass like that, because the profit margins are stupid. What it's costing them to produce it ain't shit. And all it takes is a little bit of digging in to see who owns what, especially with the privately owned prisons. You can see what investment group, who consists of said investment group, and then trace that money. Go ahead, G.
No, that's big business, man. You can get some really big angel investors on that one.
And for those that don't know, for me, in college, I was, you go through the whole shit of choosing your major or whatever, and so like I was geek. My brother, my stepbrother had just served time. It didn't seem fair, and a couple of homies, like people I was really, really close to, ended up getting caught up in the system. So here I am, like, become a fed and a lawyer and on some Superman shit. I'm gonna be the change inside the system. Boy, was like the rudest awakening, and I want to shout out to Professor Johnson at SOU, and because when you declare for your major, you take your general ed shit, and once you pass your gen ed, you work your way up to take your the shit that gets you qualified for your major. You start taking all of those courses that get you the proper credits. And one of the upper level classes is corrections. And you see the title and you read the description when you're signing on for the class, and it's like, yo, we're gonna walk through the business of prisons. And I'm like, the business of prisons? And the very first day in the intro of that class, he breaks down the difference between federally owned prisons and privately owned joints, and how they work, what it costs to build them, who's invested in them before. And you sitting there going, nigga, wait, what?
The world just got turned upside down.
Like I've never been more like confused in my life, because I'm sitting there and I'm like, is everybody listening to this? But then you realize that valley in general, but the campus was like 3% minority when I got there. Not 3% black, but 3% minority. So it's already skewed. So when he's saying this, ain't nobody in the class reacting, and I'm doing this. I'm looking around to see who's like, this don't mean nothing to y'all, but of course it doesn't, because they weren't affected the same way we were. It's something you'll never feel crazier than a teammate or a classmate or somebody you hella close with just disappearing for a couple months, and like, yeah, I just went to juvie. It's like, wait, what? How? Like, you're the coolest kid I know. Yeah. You wouldn't hurt anyone. It's like, yeah, it's just how it goes, and it's hard to really put that into words what that means. But it's a night. I'm realizing now how naive I was and just how sheltered I was, I guess.
Bro, it's even crazier when you go down the wormhole and see the connections into public schooling.
100. It's farming.
It's all farming.
It's a farming system.
It's meant to put you in a position to either end up there for free labor, or end up in this bottom area where
9 to 5. Let's get them conditioned to be able to sit in a cubicle or sit in a 8x8 cell or whatever. Right. And we sound like some fucking anarchists, but it's just, this is simple. These are known, proven facts by this point now. But that course in particular, G, the professor's just walking us through it. And after the class, he's like, Monty, come holler at me. Like, you seem to be shook. And I'm just like, dog, what are we doing there? Like, here I am, dead ass thinking I got a shot to change some shit, influence something. I'm like, nah, I can't. That's big business, baby. I can't do nothing with that. Like, nothing at all. And so then fast forward to this past election, and they're like, Hillary, Trump, And I'm just like, what you want me to do? I know she's invested in a privately owned prison before. I know that she signed off. Her and her husband were on the front line for the prison reform. All this shit that tied into the big business of prison systems. You know what I'm saying? And how they're able to continue slavery. No one wants to talk about it like that, and everyone wants to dismiss it as you do the crime, you do the time, all that kind of shit. But we're not talking circumstances and how something as simple as investing properly in public education can change all of that. Something as simple as having access to the proper produce could change a lot of that shit. The proper nutrients that kids, if fucking kids are going to school hungry, I wish you would try to sit me down in the class to try to like if I was bruh. That hangry shit, they should do a hangry commercial about sitting in class being hungry. I'm not trying to hear shit you say. And now all of a sudden you're going to classify me as having ADHD because I'm hungry.
Yeah.
If you don't get the fuck out my face, and now I'm on whatever prescribed medicines, you don't take said medicine, you have an incident, now you're in the system forever and your life changed. Like that's literally how simple it is for a large percentage of inmates. I don't even know how we got on all the fires.
Nigga went down a wormhole.
It's easy to.
Yeah, because it's a very long one. So it's so many factors that go into that finished product that we finally see as inmates fighting fires.
Yeah,
like that's the end of
the end of it all. Yeah. And in the whole system thing caught me because I was reading a story about a woman in Chicago who lost her son for a couple months because it was the school's way of leveraging being able to farm her son. It's a K through 8th situation, and I don't know how many people have gone through K through 8th, but I'm a product of a K through 8th school, and it has its perks. You know, you build a community. One kid goes through, especially if the parents have multiple children.
Yeah, it's consistency.
It's consistent. You know, it's familiarity, and that shit matters in the education system, especially now. Where the teachers are just mightily underpaid. Let's start there. Yeah. The teachers are extremely underpaid. If we start there, it'll set the precedent of like a real unbiased conversation and something we could actually have some progress with.
Yeah, you gotta really care about kids to be a teacher,
man.
Like shout out to teachers because
doing all that work.
I don't know.
And going undervalued. And luckily now they have some programs to help counteract their debt with school and shit, but even that's way too late. That should have been like there should have been some sort of perks, tax breaks or something for being a teacher and educating our youth. Yep. But the story in Chicago, the mother sent 2 children through the school, and she runs a daycare herself and is a substitute teacher in her free time as well. Mm-hmm. So she's familiar with the system. She has a son that she's already identified herself as having behavioral problems. Mm-hmm. With identifying that, he's 6 too, by the way. Let's keep that in mind. He's 6. She's identified that he has behavior problems because she works with children. So she gets an appointment with the doctor to get him help and get him into the proper programs to help him with being amongst his peers. Mm-hmm. He has some incidents at school. The school's like, hey, we want to put him in this program, and whatever they're calling it now. They're not calling it special ed like they used to, but when we were in school, it was special ed. Mm-hmm. And you knew the kids in the special ed class, and you're like, yo, I don't like what's the difference? Like I like now in hindsight, don't really know the difference between me and those kids, other than they probably needed a little more hands-on assistance.
My bad. You talking about special? I remember they would have special needs, and then they would have where all the anger management kids go.
And see, and that was the thing. Like at our school, because it was so small, mm-hmm. they grouped that one group together. Oh, gotcha. Like they didn't have like at the bigger schools, they had 2 separate groups. At ours was so small, they put all those kids in one room. Yeah, that shit is so crazy. And so the mother, and I guess that's why I identified with it, because it's a K through 8th. And I'm like, and she's like, yo, you can't do that to my kid when he's 6.
Yeah.
And we still haven't actually identified the real problem. So they had like 2 separate incidents like that. And the mother's pushing back like, no, he just needs a little bit more hands-on. I'm working with him. We're figuring shit out. I've already have an appointment. We're going to get the proper diagnosis of what he's dealing with and get him the proper help. But he's excelling in his schoolwork, is what she's saying. But the school's way of leveraging her and threatening her to get what they want is to keep threatening to call social services. So the final straw, the son writes this troubling, a 6-year-old, mind y'all, writes this troubling essay, and they're like, that's it, we're calling social services. And the mother actually loses her son.
Wow.
He wrote an essay about getting a whooping.
Oh shit.
And I've never been more heartbroken because we've seen these stories. And again, I don't know if I've said this publicly, but we've had this conversation. My mom got with me, fam. She just did. And I know you guys have similar stories. And to this day, when we talk about that, I'm not talking about it to ridicule my mom. I'm actually talking about it in favor of her. Like, yo, good looking out. You might have saved a nigga's life.
Yeah.
And my mom cringes at some of those stories. She's like, I can't believe I did that to y'all. Like, damn, what are you talking about? She's like, yo, I know better. I was dealing with shit. Some of that I was probably projecting. Yeah. Got a little bit more information. I would have been more patient and had a conversation. That's all well and good. You know that now. So now that's what I'll do with my kids, and you can do with your grandkids, all the shit. But there is something to be said for that balance of your mama getting with you, fam. It just is. It just is.
I think it goes along with like the location or the area that you grow up into. Because in a lot of these situations, I think you need to be dealt with in a certain type of way in order for you to not, for basically to just strike fear in you from doing outside stuff.
Right.
And that was always the point.
Huh?
That was always the point.
Yeah.
Like, hey.
I mean, that was and that's where the good intentions are.
Yeah.
Like, it's not malicious at all.
No.
Like, this isn't anything against you. Like, I don't hate you as my son or my daughter or whatever. It's really that I need to project this onto you.
I need you to understand.
Beat it into your head that this, and actually literally beat this into your head that this isn't the type of lifestyle or the type of energy that I want you to have going forward.
That was always the conversation too. It's like, hey, and my mom from early, I remember stealing something. I was like 5 or 6. She's like, hey, if you lie, you'll steal. Oh, and by the way, if these cops catch you, they'll kill you. My mom was saying that when I was 5. That's 1994. 5 years, or 1995. She's telling me that at 5 years old, hey, these cops will kill you, little 5-year-old black boy, is what she's saying. So the whoopings are more out of fear than like some anger shit. It's like, yo, if my son, who I'm raising I'm single black mother raising a black son, I need him to understand how skewed this system is, and it's not in his favor, by the way. So yeah, you at a school that's mixed. You got your white friends, your Filipino friends, and all this shit. They playing with a whole different set of rules, fam. They'll kill you. Right. Is what I need you to understand.
Yeah, in the same situation.
And yeah, the same situation. There'll be a conversation. It'll be a little bit more peaceful for them. It will get hostile with you, and they will kill you. So what I'm trying to get my mom to understand is like, yo, you can't really feel bad considering the circumstances of the fear that you're operating, the fear that fear and love shit we always talk about. Especially, and then add to that not really having all the information and fucking not having the time.
Right.
You know how much time you gotta have? Yeah. My favorite on Atlanta, one of the first, season 1 where Darius is talking about investment
with the black and white girlfriend thing.
Not even that. That's season 2. That's we can get to that.
That's another one.
Season 1, investing in the dogs.
Right. Got it.
And he's like, Black people don't have time to invest. Like what? Like, and that's a real. They said it in humor, but that's a real thing we got to talk about. Like playing the long game. You know, in my mom's eyes and a lot of our parents' eyes, whooping you, disciplining you to understand the severity of your actions in that moment so that you don't lose your life outside was them playing the long game. Right. It has the corporal punishment has its effects on the opposite side. It can go either way. I feel, speaking for me personally, I'm speaking as a product that feel like I got the best of those situations because it was always with the conversation posted. You know, I'll make fun of my mom, like she would whoop us and then try to talk to us and pray, like, lady, don't you dare pray with me right now.
Not right now.
Not right now. But her
Give
point,
me a little bit.
you know, she wanted to have a conversation to correct the behavior. You know, we probably could have skipped the whooping, but we didn't. We know better now, and now the conversation, it's all about communicating, and then we know how advanced children are now too. You know, we can be a little bit more patient, and also knowing how stressful fucking being an adult is. Right. I don't want to project that on my kid. Like, you got to leave that shit outside so that something as simple as them being a kid doesn't cause you to lose your shit on them when they're just being 6.
Yeah, once you realize that and pay attention to that, just pay attention to the amount of stress that adults are going through.
Oh my gosh.
I think you do. Like, you should be able to learn patience in a way. Yeah. Like, once you really feel that, because everybody is stressing their ass off.
Everybody. So that mother and the daughter is a teenager. And back to the story in Chicago. The daughter's pissed at the little brother because she's older but mad that the mom has been so stressed out. The middle son is just like, yo, what the fuck is going on? And the kid is 6, by the way, guys. Yeah. And here again we see some farming system shit where it at the end of the day it all comes down to it being black bodies being representative more of a variable that's fleeting, other than something than being a human being. Like, they're not accounting for what's happening for these lives past these incidents.
Another thing about this story, though, is the amount of times that other people feel like they need to step in on our situation. Like, why do people always feel like you need to step in on black problems? Like, it's not even like really a problem on our end. It's just you view it as a problem. Like, why do you always feel like you got to have control over our lives? Yep. Like, let us do this. We've been all right. Okay, we've been doing just fine.
What I mean, we see that all the time in so many different walks of life.
And damn near everything.
And everything. And to bring it back, like, just entertainment, sports, right? I've never, and I think it's with getting older, because it wasn't always like that, but as I get older and I try to consume ESPN, there's so many cultural and racial undertones in every episode. I can't get through, like, certain topics I can't rock with them on, because I can't rock with them on certain episodes because of what they're discussing, and part of me feels like they shouldn't be discussing it. Mm-hmm. On LeBron's house in Brentwood, when they spray painted nigga on the house, and they want to have a deep dive about that and talk about, y'all can't talk about that. You don't know what that means. You don't know what that feels like. Right. You have no way of knowing. And then the sad part is, because I make fun of Stephen A, but I fuck with Stephen A. I make fun of Jalen, but I fuck with Jalen.
He does call that out, so that's a plus for him.
Yeah, I fuck with all of it.
He always calls out that this makes me uncomfortable that we're discussing this. Like, this is something that black people should be discussing.
Exactly.
Right. And all black panel can discuss, but y'all can't.
Yeah, and so having it, because it's for those that don't know, ESPN is Disney, and so when they can't really have actual deep dives on those conversations because they have to operate within a box. All right. And so it isn't doing any good to really have those conversations on those platforms because it's sugarcoated on some level. And the second they step over that line, they get fined or they get suspended without pay.
It's too large. It has to be inclusive. Like, it has to include everyone. So in a way that's excluding certain groups, because if you got to include everyone about a topic that isn't about everyone, then that's when it gets weird.
Yeah,
you know,
and it's not productive at the end of the day. It's just not a productive conversation. Stuff in and around Cap and the anthem, it automatically gets shifted to disrespecting the vets when that's not the case. But again, it's a conversation they can't really have because of the gruesome nature in which black bodies are being murdered, which Cap is talking about. They can't discuss on a Disney platform. So immediately it gets shifted to something that the NFL is invested in, ESPN is invested in, this country is invested in, and that is the military.
Right.
The military, just like prisons, the military is big business. Newsflash, people. Sorry if y'all didn't know that.
I forgot what who podcast was talking about that shit. That this country tries to farm us into different institutions, like educational institution, then the prison system, and I forgot what the third was. Damn. But yeah. That's all I have to add. Yeah, niggas is being farmed into. You got to fit into a certain institution. If you don't, then that's when this backlash.
Well, that's when. Well, we have too many people. First off, so they have to kind of group you into something in order to understand you. Unfortunately, they don't want to try to understand each individual. Like you have to completely stand out and just be like, F all that. That's not me.
Right.
Regardless of all the backlash about it. And then eventually people will either understand or they won't. But who gives a shit? But for the majority, though, people are going to fall in line with what is expected of them, which is unfortunate. And that's what we're talking about here, is that you don't do enough of the research or enough of the finding out about what exactly is going on around you, and they will put you into whatever you were always destined to be.
Right.
But there's something else I wanted to talk about, though. At least with the ESPN thing, I do love that there is a complete opposite version of that, and that is the entity of Shannon Sharp. I love Shannon Sharp on screen, bro.
Hell yeah.
Like he brings the full scope of just him on the screen, and gets away with it.
Him bringing edibles, Swishers, and Hennessy. Who else is doing that?
He out here just being your wild ass uncle, bro.
And it's on Fox, ain't it?
It's on Fox, but that makes sense.
It makes sense on Fox.
It makes sense on Fox.
Fox wants that for us.
Fox,
but still,
Fox wants peer viewership and ratings and engagement, and whatever they can do to get ESPN the fuck out of here, they're going to.
They're pulling out.
They're committed
bro.
to.
What
that.
else you want to do, bro? Bring that to the
committed.
stage. And I also love that Wayne be on there. So yeah, shout out to him.
I knew it. I knew it was coming.
That's what I
knew it was coming.
That's what I was about to get to.
Oh man, we let's take a hard left and get to this continued theme of 2018 in new music. Another weekend completely dedicated to Tidal and to purchasing music. I am broke again because streaming just isn't enough. Anderson .Paak doesn't need my $9.99, but hey, Creed 2 does not need my money. Who else? All Black don't need my money, but what am I supposed to do? I still believe in buying music.
Shit.
There ain't no Best Buy. Streaming is cool. Like the streaming shit counts, but and it's probably my artist bias too. It's like knowing how much just brain bandwidth that shit costs for them to make. I'm like, yo, what's $10 for your brain bandwidth? But it's again, I don't expect everybody to subscribe to that. Like that's the whole point of your Spotify's and your Apple Music is like, yo, everybody don't really fuck with that whole idea of it. But nigga, studio time, mixing, mastering, paying somebody to do the cover art, having to upload that shit, getting the hassle of just getting features and then getting people in the same spot is enough for me to go, nigga, I can give you $10. And then the nerve of you to put out a fire album, by the way, too. It's just like I be so grateful for dope ass music, and I get because it's the most talked about. We can start with Anderson .Paak. Nigga, have y'all listened to that yet?
I can't get into Anderson.
Oh, you're not a fan. Okay.
I mean, he cool. Don't get me wrong. I think he's talented, but it's just like he sounds too
Like
sounds
Kendrick's
too much.
alter ego?
Yeah. Like I
Ooh.
already got a guy. I don't need an Anderson .Paak. Like,
You the same way?
Well, he does sound like Kendrick's alter ego. That's what I thought he was at first until I realized, until I saw him and like, oh, that's another person.
Yeah.
But
Holy shit! This just made me really happy. I didn't know y'all felt like this. This is exciting.
I just don't subscribe to him. I mean, no knock to him. Like I heard he got bars.
No,
and
I just
shit,
go
but
off his
I heard-
sound. I listen to Anderson .Paak. I fool with him, but he's not like one of the artists for me, at least, that I need to jump on his like the first week.
So you guys identify Anderson as a rapper.
Yeah.
Got it.
I identify him as an artist. I don't know if he's a rapper or singer, but I know he's like that.
Okay.
That healthy medium
What do
with
you
the tension.
identify him as?
He's a soul singer. He's like a Curtis Mayfield, Bobby Womack type. Like he has him and
Anderson would probably be dope as hell live. Like
him and Sir, SZA, Erica. There are those singers that sing, but because the bars are so fired, niggas go, oh, they rap, and it's just super melody driven, you know. And and so I remember, and then again, it's probably some more biased shit. Seeing him, that was probably 4 years ago.
In the cafeteria?
Nah, he wasn't in the cafeteria. But it was a small ass venue. It's not even open no more. Venue on Telegraph. He was Breezy Lovejoy then, and this nigga was playing the fucking drums and singing the whole time, and I was like, this is nuts. Like I mean, obviously there's fucking there's people that have done that before, but he had that bop and he was gassing, but he was singing too, and then.
Yeah, he was dope on what's that show? Is it NPR or what's that?
Yeah, his Tiny Desk series, NPR.
Tiny Desk series, yeah.
But then I remember you could just feel when the button gets pressed on certain people, because he's doing the Breezy Lovejoy thing, and then all of a sudden the name change happens.
What was he before?
He's Breezy Lovejoy. That was his name. That was his name. Yeah.
Oh,
so it's
like the venue.
It's like it's like two or three records like that. And then him and fucking Knowledge get together and do the Yes Lord shit, but you're just like, what is this? Like this a new brand of soul and funk music. And then the Dre thing, like the Dre thing, dog, like for people who don't, because I've heard people say, yo, I don't really understand the genius of Dre. Go listen, for example, for this record. There's a Pusha verse on it. Go listen to every Pusha song you love, and you've never heard Push with this level of clarity and the way his voice pops. And you're just like, oh, that's the Dre shit. And so whoever hasn't listened to Oxen yet, have you listened to it yet? That fuck, dog. I can't say enough about this great albums, and it has that death row shit to it too, where there's an awesome story. No, Anderson actually produced a good portion of it. Dre has some shit on there. Who else has some beats on? Focus has some beats on there. I'm missing a few people, but for the most part, the writing and the composition is Anderson and his crew, Free Nationals. But then the spot producers that are on there, they showed up and showed out. Fred Wreck got a fucking Fred Wreck sighting. But the story, I was gonna say the Death Row story, like the totality of an album, where they're like the good kid shit, or Damn, for example. Like I feel like Dre demands this level of imagination to separate what those projects are from what everyone else is doing. The voicings, the time, the different cadences, the time signatures, the way the drums, like it's just you don't feel cheated when you listen to that record, because you know them niggas was in there just trying anything. Like I'm sure some demos are gonna come out at some point because of the shit that they tried. I can't say enough about it, dog, because it's the like backing vocals to go get Sir just to do backing vocals. The BJ Chicago Kid, all these different people. Like it's just a dope record.
So would you say the only person that does something of that nature, as far as like the amount of time and effort that goes into just the totality of the music, would be like a Kanye?
A producer wise from Dre?
Yeah, producer wise. Yeah.
Used to be Ye. I don't think he's doing that
Dre's
anymore.
probably doing more of the original stuff though. But
No. Dre getting his sample in his sample bag, okay. but he like Ye. Well, what Ye used to do is have a bunch of musicians come in. So you got your main sample, and then they would just explore that shit beyond wonders. And so for people who are confused on, oh yeah, Dre got ghost producers, all the shit. Yeah. Them niggas come in with a sample and a groove and like an 8-bar loop, and in Dre's twisted ass mind, I'd be like, nigga, we need strings here, we need some trumpets here, we need to do this, do that, and then just take it to this infinite place that it wouldn't have gone to because of how his vision shit works. Yeah. And so Dre has a verse on there, and it's clearly written by Pac, but it's Anderson .Paak. But the dope shit about that is that when Dre raps are written, you can always hear who wrote it. All right. When we did the Three Kings shit with Ross, he was like, "Oh, Ross clearly wrote this," because whatever the reference track is doing, Dre does what the reference track is calling for. This was the first time, because even when Dot did "Every Morning When I Wake Up," what was that? Recipe. It was tight, but it just sounded. Just like trying to be Dot, and it made me uncomfortable. This is the first time since Dre was doing shit with DOC and like Snoop and RBX and them, where he sounds really comfortable. He sounded so comfortable rapping on this one. I thought that was dope, and it reminded me of like when Jay did Still DRE. Like he sounds comfortable with that. He sounded comfortable on this one. So yeah, fuck with Oxnard if you haven't listened to it. Fuck with All Black, nigga. Did y'all listen to that shit? Y'all
not yet.
But you fuck with All Black. Yeah. You fuck with All Black, G? Oh shit. Never mind. Shout out to All Black.
I've heard one song from All Black.
Did you work with Scott? Producer?
I have?
Have you?
No.
I thought you have. You fuck with one of the producers over there, or y'all work together.
Who?
I don't know. Ian.
But Ian fuck with everybody though. That's different. But that 2-minute drill shit is crazy. Like,
where's All Black from?
From the town or Berkeley, ain't he?
He from the town.
Yeah, he from the town. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He
came out with this Canadian Goose. You know if you hear it.
Yeah, but I've
heard one song from All Black, I think.
The authentic representations of where we're from is important to me, because it's got to be done right and it's got to be done tasteful. And it's certain shit you got to hear in the right element in the right setting.
Yeah.
To take you there to appreciate it too. And I remember somebody playing me All Black. And I was like, okay, I get it. Man, we were in New Parish waiting for, I forget what show that was I was waiting for. That shit came on, and when you just see the joy of like come over people when that shit come on, like I love that shit. Like I love having my, and people call it, I don't know what people will refer that as, but that shit matters when you see people react to a record.
Definitely.
It was the same with Drake. Like I didn't really understand the So Far Gone shit or Comeback Season, and I really wasn't understanding So Far Gone.
You didn't understand So Far Gone?
Not by myself.
Yeah, just like listening to it. Like you didn't. Pick up on it?
No, I gotta be honest.
That was the first I picked up on. I didn't pick up on it from
Comeback Season. I didn't get it, and then So Far Gone came out.
But then again, I listened to that one song that he did before that, like there was a video for it. I can't remember, but
The one with him and Trey
I don't know
Songz,
how
or-
somebody looked at that, huh?
The one with Trey Songz?
No, I hated that song, but there was one even before that. It looked like some Canadian shit.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I can't remember the name of the song, whatever. But I don't see how you could pick up on that and be like, that guy's gonna be great.
Nah, that with the Drake shit, I didn't get it. And then So Far Gone happens, and everybody's telling me, yo, you should fuck with this, fuck with this. It wasn't until we were in Houston, and a room full of like the baddest bitches I'd ever seen was like, yo, put that Drake on. And I was like, oh, I understand this now. I completely get it. Sometimes you just got to go to the right element to understand shit.
Yeah.
Like I that, at least for me. And All Black was the same way, where it was like, damn, I fully understand this. Like somebody sent it to me by myself, and I was like, yo, I don't understand it. And then, nigga, was at New Parish that night, and it wasn't like one of them New Parish nights where they only had the downstairs open. They had upstairs and downstairs open, and that shit went off. So yeah, fuck with 2 minute drill. What
Listen to
else?
Crits,
EP, 3 songs. I was mad about that. Only because Crit is fucking the GOAT. I wasn't really mad about it, but when it comes to just snapping, let's have an. You fuck with Crit, G? Mm-hmm. Who does Crit get the respect he deserves?
Not
man?
a chance. He never
You know
will.
that. He knows that.
Damn.
That's why he's just comfortable in his lane right now.
He finally got comfortable though.
No,
I think with the last album, he put out at least.
I disagree.
Don't think so?
I disagree. I don't think he's comfortable now.
Okay.
I don't think he sleeps well at night.
Okay.
I think that shit
Really?
genuinely bothers him.
From his last interview and his last album, I feel like he just like, you know what? Like,
It felt like it after the last album, yeah. But
it's just like there's room for growth. He knows that definitely, or to keep on excelling. But he's just like, you know, I'm not going to keep on chasing after something that isn't real.
Nah, and you're right about that. The interview I felt better about, but when you're as talented as he is, and Crit's extraordinary. Like the way you talk about Anderson, like it's only a few of those. It's Cole, and for me, Cole, Anderson, Dot. Shit, I can't even really put Dot. Well, yeah, I can, because from a songwriter and an organizer, he's up there, and I feel like he has a lot of input on those songs. But like actually being hands on making the beats, and then being nice with your pen. Mm-hmm. Crit damn near might be in a class of his own. Him and Cole, that might be it.
Okay.
That the being that nice with the pen though.
yeah.
Like it's a lot of people that are nice with both, but
What about him?
I think the difference is going to be the accent. Like it's just like
don't do that to me on camera.
I'm asking, what about him?
What? No, that's next level nice.
But I'm just asking. M make his own shit, right?
Yeah,
And he pens his own shit, right?
the production value. I'm talking about pure production value,
Okay.
not.
Well, M production isn't as high caliber as
Some people would say it's higher, but I don't.
Really?
I personally don't agree. No, I'm tripping. Earl, Tyler. I'm wilding. I'm wilding. Earl
I
and
was just about to ask you
yeah.
too to start naming.
Yeah, Earl and Tyler. I'm bugging. That's not a list I want to do right now because I'm gonna forget hella people that I actually fuck with that produce and rap. Because Earl and Tyler are high on that list for me too. Mac Miller,
yeah.
R.I.P. Mac. That he was probably number one, to be honest with y'all.
Yeah.
Like that ain't even no bigging up because he not here no more. That's real shit. More new music. Did y'all at least skim through Creed 2?
No, I didn't even download it.
this isn't my new music week.
Did y'all fuck with the shit Tyler did for the Grinch?
No.
Okay.
I fucked with one of the songs.
Okay. We'll talk about new music later.
I fucked with one of the songs. I fucked with the main song for the movie.
Shit. Money coming here week by week, hoping niggas listen to everything.
Shit, man, we got a show to do. Fuck me, right? Meek got a release date. Are we happy about that at least?
Yeah, I'm curious to see what he gonna do with it. Coming off of Stay Woke with McGill, and then he put out another track, didn't he?
Yeah, yeah. The shit with Dream,
Yeah.
the whole rendition shit that was fucking. The whole visual was incredible. Are you expectations? I hate them, but I understand them because it sells the excitement. It just leaves so much room for people to hate. And so I don't know. I never know how valuable that is.
I don't know. I don't think it's always good to have a unit of measure for things, especially.
You think
like
it is or it
artwork.
isn't?
Isn't.
Is it?
Isn't always good to have a unit of measure for things such as like art and shit like that, because everything's gonna be different. I mean, by my standards, like you don't expect his shit to be like the last shit, right?
Me? I don't expect anybody's shit to be like the last shit. I guess, and again, this is some artist bias shit, but I'm always looking for a level of growth. And so my heart always really hurts for the people that their fans who they have to cater to won't let them grow. And Meek is one of those people that is going to have to grow. And so while still catering to the street shit, like he has to cater to that. He can't completely forget about what made him him,
Right.
but he's got to display a level of growth. And so I'm hoping that his fans, his core fan base, will allow him
I see what
the
you're saying.
growth.
Allow him to continue to do tracks like Stay Woke.
Not even stay woke. Just like, what's the last radio joint Meek had? That just like big single.
Ask me that right now.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. Like you can't think of one off the top of your head. Like even the shit with him and Drake didn't do what it could have. It went off, but
Oh, Rico.
nah, before Rico. The Rico.
Oh, Amen.
Amen. Yeah, Rico definitely didn't do what it was supposed to, but that was because of the shit that they were going through. Amen kind of went, but it could have went further. So that's what I'm saying. Meek, like the intro. What the intro means to people. What if Meek catches one of those that mean that to the masses? Because for the intro to be what it is, and for him to be able to come out anywhere and perform it the way he does, like is insane. Because it's just pure snapping. It's not your standard song. It's not your standard formatted song. It's an anomaly in that regard where it's just like, wait a minute. How is that one that special for everybody?
I see this album being closer to like T.I.'s Dime Tap than any of Meek's older stuff. Like,
you think so?
I think it'll be a little bit more
Introspective
and geared towards where he is right now.
Yeah.
Which is going to open up the door to I think wider people than if he did it the other way. Because you got to think, Meek's been gone for a minute now. So I don't think the expectation is really there like it was when he was dropping hit after hit after hit, especially after going through that Drake thing. Like this is just a whole new person. This is a whole new build. So he can come as whatever he wants to. And I think it's more beneficial for him to go along the routes of how we're moving with the whole Cap Nike thing and all the social activism that's going on today, that it's better for him to go that route.
So do we and that's because I think you're right, G.
Yeah.
My question is, will his base allow that and ride
Meek's
with
base
him
at this point?
Meek's base, let's not ever get that fucked up. Meek's base is the same base that a Gucci has. The same base that your little babies and like the street niggas, like the Kevin Gates, like that exist. And I forgot who we were just talking. I was on the phone with I was on FaceTime with somebody talking about why certain rappers are doing so great and certain ones aren't. It's because it's women and the street niggas are the bases to go after.
True.
Like it ain't. Don't make no mistake about it. The women will carry you extremely far, and the street niggas will carry you extremely far too. But if you happen to get both of them, shit. Meek happens to be one of those niggas that has both.
All right.
So,
but his subject matter is going to be still talking to the street niggas because they're living that lifestyle of having to go in and out, or having people that go in and out and still want to fight that the system.
That's what I'm asking. Okay,
and
cool.
That's what he's going to be talking about his entire way through.
That's exactly what I'm asking. Is his base going to allow that?
I think it works.
Okay.
It's still in that same stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they will. Because, I mean, he's been campaigning for, they've been campaigning this whole time for, justice reform and all that shit, or prison reform. And then that's been his narrative. So
Yeah.
it's just going to be a smooth transition, especially with the time that he's been out and the time that now he's dropping the album.
Yeah.
There's been enough room in between. Y'all seeing who I'm transitioning
And to
into.
be. They've done a good job. Now I applaud that whole team for how they've been working that and garnering excitement. The expectations and the bases. I'm always worried if people are gonna allow. It's like, y'all I want the old shit. I want the old shit. It's like, dog, people are evolving every day. They're not gonna give you the old shit.
Right.
And we're watching Meek evolve before our eyes the same way we watch Guwap evolve, and these people just change their mentalities, just based on circumstances of where they've come from and the access that they've had or haven't had. And so I'm excited for Meek in that regard, just on a human level. So I'm hoping that him being as excited about the new music as he is, and the people around him, that his core base and then the new fans that will come will be as equally excited, and so he'll catch the wave of his base feeling fulfilled, and then these new people, and that should just catapult him into a whole different fucking stratosphere.
Yeah.
Who knows? If it doesn't work out, you can always just get back with Nicki and completely rebound.
Nobody need to be fucking with Nicki right now.
Nobody. Everybody stay clear.
Complete rebound.
Man, my interest with bases and evolving comes from the week the Migos had. Karaoke Carpool. That shit was massive. And I don't know, like, and so there's layers there, right? People that who are aware of the Migos but not like that were inboxing or sharing that video because they got to see them in a whole new light. And that's just how it works, right? Like, no one goes to, particular people don't go to check for the record. And then there's certain music that comes across their timeline or whatever, no matter what, because the songs are so big. And then they've been touring with Drake. But in the line with touring with Drake, new music, their influence in or around Cardi, and then this Karaoke Carpool shit where it's an introduction to white America, because that's what we're talking about essentially. To keep dancing around it, but that's what it is. Like, that's who consumes that Karaoke Carpool show, which is fucking hilarious. But to see them in that light gave me a whole new respect for QC and where these niggas are about to go.
Or where they at?
QC's there.
Because they already got the Foot Locker deal.
No, they got it. But I'm just saying, shit's about to turn up to a whole new level when you see those moments happen. It's about to go somewhere else. In a great way. This isn't a bad thing. This is an awesome way because it's evolving in a way that I'm not sure everyone could have predicted 5 years ago.
Right, that's what I was talking about before. I was like, bro, do you see the amount of access that QC is getting their artists? Like, just across the board, the amount of places that you got Cardi's song playing, that drip song playing on that one commercial, bro. You hear that shit all throughout everything.
Mountain Dew or some shit.
Something, bro. You hear that shit dropping all the time.
Yeah.
You see the Migos at all, like, the hoop games, having their own little section or whatever, talking to the media in between quarters and stuff like that. Like, you just see them, they're continuously getting their face and names out there.
Lil Baby, Yachty, like, it's
Lil Baby nice too. I fuck with Lil Baby.
This shit is crazy, man, and it's so, I don't know. We lived through Cash Money No Limit, right? But kind of young to really appreciate the boss shit that was happening. Like, I was so infatuated with the music that I was too young to really understand the business moves that were taking place. Now we're in on the business moves, and this shit it's just impressive.
Yeah.
Like it's just really dope to watch.
We haven't heard Rich Kid since he went against the group. Like Rich Kid was everywhere,
crazy.
bro. Where the hell is Rich Kid at right now?
But it's when you how sometimes you get to ask to do the simple thing and just play a particular role, and when you can't do that, it's like, damn, what was I thinking? Because it just it's just waiting your turn. But for me at least, when I watch them, I don't see a lot of ego. Just talking about the Migos at least.
Yeah.
I don't see a lot of ego, and the Joe Nadeska and Act shit, the everyday struggle shit with the Migos was hilarious. But when you really take a step back, and what Takeoff was saying was like, do it look like I got left off? Like, fam, I'm here with the group. We're everybody's talking about us. I just wasn't on that song. Big fucking deal. There's a long game to this. It's a big deal to you, Joe, because you're ridden in ego when you pretend not to be. But it ain't nobody tripping off that shit. Do it look like I got left off of Bad Bougie? No, nigga, I'm here with my squad.
Do it look like I got left off of Bad
I'm here with my gang, nigga, and we doing it. So proof, here we are. Was Everyday Struggle? Was that 2 years ago? Or was that a year ago?
That was a year ago.
Year ago.
Yeah, that wasn't that long ago.
That was a minute ago.
It was a year ago.
It was damn. Time is moving crazy.
A little over a year.
Little over a year. But that's with the people often get it confused.
I didn't know it wasn't, bro. That was what's the name? That was the BET Awards, wasn't it?
Yeah, last year. BET Awards.
BET Awards was in February.
Not this
All
year,
those awards
not
are
2018.
Nigga, that did not happen in 2018.
So the year before that?
Yeah.
Oh man, shit.
Yeah, a little bit over a year and a half. Nigga. This nigga's about to fight us over 3 months, nigga. What's the fuck wrong with you?
That's what I said. A year and some change.
My nigga, I just know World Citizens in the same period of time, and like Joe hasn't been just doing the podcast, bro, for that long.
Yeah, yeah.
Bro, like that, huh?
Yeah, yeah. That's nigga. They on episode.
No, I'm talking about,
something.
but they were doing. He was doing both of them and just keeping his.
Oh, you talking about when he was
show.
doing Everyday
both of
Struggle
them.
and
So
the podcast?
Everyday Struggle,
yeah,
when he was on Everyday Struggle, wasn't that long ago.
No, that wasn't that long ago. No,
That's what I mean. So that award show wasn't that long ago.
But the Bad and Bougie shit happened a minute before the show ended.
Think about the song was on Culture One.
Yeah, Coach,
came
we
out
got a whole
2017.
new album and some more shit.
Bro, they weren't that far between though. The Culture 1 and Culture 2 weren't that far between each other.
6 months.
Okay.
It was only 6 months between those albums?
Yeah, it wasn't that far.
Jeez. That's crazy.
I forgot. Oh no, Joe brought up that point. He was like, they're dropping Culture 2 6 months after they did Culture 1. So, yeah, and they was spinning that single before that. So
I'm just not inclined to go against anything QC. Sorry,
yeah,
Coach K and P and them, they got it figured out.
Yep.
They got the cheat code completely. So
Agreed.
any questioning their motives and how they're working Cardi now, how simultaneously the shit with Baby and what Yachty's do, like it's just silly.
They just signed QC under Atlantic, huh?
Did they?
No, I'm asking.
I have no idea.
Because I mean, they are essentially Atlantic, right?
Everybody, the Migos are there, Cardi's there, Baby's there.
Baby, yeah,
so is Yachty Atlantic too? He's got it. Yachty's got to be fucking Atlantic.
You think he's on the major now?
Yachty?
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't think so?
I don't know. Honestly.
Yeah, I guess I wanted to have that conversation because we didn't really get to live through the Baby and Slim era, and then P. We lived through it, but we weren't of age to be in or infatuated with the business approach, I guess. Yeah. So now, sort of being of age and being able to live through it, I'm really impressed more than anything because it's just shit ain't easy, and I don't know if you guys saw Coach K on Rap Radar, but he sort of gives some back history about what he went through and what his trajectory has been through the music industry, and how it is just a lot of trial and error, and then just staying persistent and consistent more than anything, and having an overall vision and then executing. You know, it's these subtle things that you got to do. I don't know. So shout out to QC.
Yes, sir.
What's next on the docket?
I forgot about Jay. Did y'all listen? Y'all didn't listen to no new music, right? So I don't need to go back there.
As far as who?
No, I'm not going back. No, not going
Yeah, this
back.
wasn't the new music week for me, man.
Yeah.
But you saw Jaden dropping another single?
No, Jaden dropped the whole project.
Oh, the whole project came out now.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
Hold
I gotta
on, who?
listen to that.
Jaden Smith.
Oh yeah. I didn't download it yet either.
Yeah,
I seen he did. I seen 2 Chainz drop a couple tracks.
Chainz dropped a couple tracks. A lot. It's a lot. So it actually does. I guess I'm just in the fucking car all the time. So I'm just like, it's just new. It's just always new music. Like, and then I get excited for shit too. Like, I was genuinely excited for Oxnard. 2 Minute Drill, that all black shit was just on my radar because he promoted it really well. So I was excited to listen to that. And then there was singles off of Creed 2 that I wanted to hear. That shit with Gunna, that Midnight shit. Oh my God, it might be the best song on the project. And then Pharrell and Dot together on Mantra just sound incredible. Sway Lee always sounds like the nigga. Like them, just certain niggas. Just when they deliver, man, you get hype. It's not as thorough as Black Panther, but it really is dope. Like I'd suggest people at the very least give it a run through and then listen to the standouts on there just by the track titles. But that Midnight is the best song.
Between Creed and the Superfly soundtrack, which one did you like?
See, I got a whole Future on his Curtis Mayfield shit, just like curating something. Nigga, that Superfly shit was hard, nigga. Like, and it keeps growing on me too when I go back to it. Like, I'll just catch it, certain songs in the shuffle. I fuck with Future though, but then Mike Will is on some whole other shit too. So the highs of Creed 2 are higher than Superfly, but Superfly is consistent all the way through for me. I guess is what I would say.
Are y'all waiting on Big Sean?
Yes.
Always waiting on Sean.
I'm interested in seeing where Big Sean been at.
Okay.
I'm because he been away though. I think I would almost bet my last that it's gonna be stupid. You know, when niggas get low,
He got low.
he got low.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm trying to tell you, bro. I think he really felt his fuck up in that one.
And
Like it's rare that you feel your fuck up
What you mean, G?
with the whole Aeko thing.
He fucked up with Janae? How? Tell me more. I didn't know. This is new. I'm only asking because I didn't know.
Oh no, I think he was under. He went to one of them situations where you have no phones. They take out. You don't. No phones are allowed on the inside, and it got wind. So she cut him.
wait, they broke up?
The-
Well, she did cover his tattoo.
I saw that. So
But they was together after that though.
okay, fellas, can we have
After what?
Can we?
After she covered up her tattoo.
When?
Like
When'd you see
it was,
them together?
It was shown that she was with him like a couple of days after.
When'd you see him though?
What you mean when I see him? I just say when they posted a picture of them together, like after she fucking covered his tattoo.
Go ahead, Money.
We talking about the wrong things. I want to know. I'm gonna get killed for this, but I just gotta know, and I feel like I could talk to my niggas about this.
For sure.
Big Sean, Hove, Kevin Hart. We can keep going. What? I don't even know how to ask the question, but
Please do. I want to hear.
What? Talk to me about this monogamy shit, man. I gotta know more. Like I'm not married, so maybe I'm not the right guy to be leading the conversation.
Yeah. All right.
But
So I think the
my nigga was waiting for me to ask that shit. All right.
Bro,
Nigga set up and
for
everything.
it, bro. What's up? Nah, but I think the common misconception with monogamy is that nobody's really worried about especially in certain situations of the heightened careers and stuff like that. Folks aren't so much worried that you are sticking to just them as much as they're worried about the way that you do your dirt. So the way that you do your dirt shouldn't be something that
gets out
and puts me in a position that now I have to defend myself on it.
Yeah.
That's the only problem that comes up. Like, it's not that you did it.
Yeah.
I think in certain points, like you kind of expect that. You don't want to. You have that in the back of your head, but you got to be like, this person.
At the very least,
just don't make me look this type of way.
Yeah. So there's
especially in today's day where people can touch you. Basically,
my nigga went somewhere where they wouldn't allow phones, so he was trying. What?
What happened?
In the known spot that goes without phones, like
I feel you.
And you pull up to the venue with somebody.
I feel you. But he was definitely trying.
If you say so.
You pulled up to the spot.
Pulled up to the spot.
Nah, he wasn't trying that hard.
Like he knew past a certain point you can't catch you, but to that point, bro, like word of mouth is everything, bro. Like it's still gonna get out, man. Just cause ain't no phones.
Hold on.
Like now you can't film me in this bitch.
How do we skate around Monty's monogamy question though?
I'm only asking because I want to understand it from it seems to be a consistent, like especially with men who have required success. It's niggas out here that don't have shit that are cheating too. You feel me? So I'm saying if the spectrum is that wide in terms of who's doing it, why they're doing it, and what their reasons are for it. What are the expectations for two extremely successful people in their fields when they enter in a relationship like that, and the pitfalls, and genetically, shit's just different. Like women are emotionally a little bit more like have it together in a sense where they're not sweating every nigga that come at them, but it's shot like I don't know. I guess what I'm really asking is like, it's niggas that have it now that really probably ain't had a sauce when they was nobodies.
Right.
So now that they got it and they out there, chances are
make up for lost time.
You feel me?
Oh, so you saying they get it bad or someone of caliber, a high caliber, and then they want to.
Because it's easy. I guess I'm only phrasing it that way because it's easy for niggas to sit up here and be like, nigga, if I had a Beyonce, nigga, I wouldn't be cheating. Nigga, if I had a Janae, nigga, I wouldn't be cheating. Shut the fuck up. Right. Bad bitches got issues too.
Right.
And probably severe ones, nigga, that you can't even account for because she the baddest bitch in the world, is what I'm saying. And so I don't want to automatically jump out the window and be like, yo, Sean tripping, nigga, because he had Janae. Janae probably put that nigga through hell.
Yeah.
Maybe. Or.
Because I don't just want to put it as like, nigga, we're just going to be on a pedestal here. But.
Or he ain't shit.
Right. But you can also feel that too. So if you feel like you actually fucked up and now you got to do this get back period of time, you know what I'm saying, then nigga, that will reflect in the amount of load that you just did. Like I can't say that I can't say that it was just artistry. I can because I can completely corral that in the shit that took place before, just from how they were moving as a unit to where whatever happened fractured whatever perfect creative space.
That creative vibe they had together. Yeah. What was that group called?
2088.
2088. Is that because I I always thought he was just being extremely smart and moving everywhere with his chick just because he know what time it is. Like it's just easier to do it that way. Like I always thought that's what the group was, and then as a byproduct, they just made dope shit.
Right.
Like, and I was like, oh, that nigga's smart. Like that would be some shit that my dumb ass would need to do. It's like, hey, we just gonna be a group because I can't be out here dolo. I can't be on out here dolo. That's for sure. So even if you don't sing, you gonna sing now because I'm not going outside by myself. Shout out to Sean though, man. I thought you were headed somewhere where you talked about the get back. Not, hey, I fucked up. Because you see it all the time, and then I've been there too, where you fuck up and then you're not forgiven instantly, and so you're like, man, I ain't doing this begging shit, and it's like, nah, that's not how that work, my nigga. If you fuck up, you fucked up. So just lean all the way into the fucking up and do what you need to do to get back. I thought the 444 shit was real monumental in a sense where it killed that whole
bravado shit.
That whole bravado shit that killed a lot of relationships. And that was my whole leading to monogamy thing, was how definite it is on either side. So someone slips up in the marriage and it's like, fuck it, implode the whole thing. And I admire people for working it out on a public forum now. Like I just do, because it's not. I mean, even and the whole other thing too is like, yo, as a man, because it's like it's a lot of niggas like, yo, I hope she better forgive me if I cheat, but if she cheat, I ain't none of that shit. Like that's how it goes, and it's like, wait, fam, it can't be both. Yeah. If you gonna be in this thing called marriage, but maybe it's being the product of parents that split, that I hold marriage on this high ass pedestal, right, where it's like, yo, fam, hopefully I got some solid niggas around me that something does happen, they can support me and not be the niggas that are like, yo, fuck that bitch, like that, like right, them the last niggas you need in your life when you're going through some shit. And the time and the effort that goes into getting your shit back, if that's what you want.
Right.
It's like, I don't know. It's impressive to see niggas with some cachet and some and being somebody be like, yo, fuck all that cool shit, man. I want my wife. You feel me? Like,
yeah. I mean, it's a matter of like, as long as you recognize your shit, and because the funny ass thing what they were talking about last night. I'm not going to go into that stuff, but they were saying
you went to last night. You went to what? You went to Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart show. Yeah.
Oh, but, hey, Kevin Hart at Oracle.
Yeah, Kevin Hart. That shit was lit. But just talking about the fuck up, and nobody walks out of their house in the morning and be like, "Nigga, this looks like this is great. This is great weather for a fuck up." So that's the truth, and it's just a matter of like, nigga, that moment where it comes over that you actually did. Whether it shows up because you got caught or whatever, which is usually how that pops up. That's the only way that you really can learn your lesson. Like, you got me. But in those situations, man, it's just dope to see like folks that you can't. You got to do this. You don't want to have this shit. Just the time that was put in already.
Yeah.
Like let's just figure this shit out, and that's always. That's different though. That's
what do you
different,
mean?
Huh?
What do you mean it's different?
Because folks ain't about that life. Ain't nobody about nigga the longevity of shit.
Bruh, I just said that shit the other day, having a conversation that my heart goes out to anybody in this climate trying to build. It just doesn't seem like the space to do it in. Like the grass is greener for everything and everyone now.
Easily.
And niggas want to blame that on phones, and so they don't have nothing to do with that. It's just being overstimulated in a false ass way where everybody thinks they're shitting on the people and the things that are consistent in their life. Mm-hmm. And more importantly, they're shitting on the things that challenge them to evolve.
Right.
That any pushback, any discomfort, oh, nigga, you gotta go. And it's like, nah, it shouldn't be like that. Like those people that are pushing you to be better actually give a fuck about you, actually care about you, and don't want you to get stagnant and want you to be passionate about something. And you see it. The people who have time to be concerned with other shit aren't passionate about nothing and aren't growing because they got time to be concerned about shit that don't matter.
Right.
And it's, I don't know. I've been thinking about that a lot, and then just the conversations and the people posting relationship goals. Shout out to my nigga D and his lady. They went on a month. They went on a month fucking trek around the world, and I told him on his pictures, like, yo, it felt like I went with y'all, and he's like, nigga, we fought, we laughed, we did all this shit, and it's like, yo, that's what you should do, you know, be out here really winning and be in a space where, you know, yo, you how I'm rapping with y'all, shit, you could rap with your lady, you feel me? So that whole monogamy thing was to ask that, it's different for every person. I know people, men and women. I know men and women who are like, yo, if such and such cheat, it's a rap.
Right.
But I don't know if it should always be so simple or so black and white.
Yeah, it's isolated situations. Just how much do you really fool with that person?
Yeah, I was just about to say
What it comes down to.
You just got to know your partner. You know, it's not just as easy as saying, okay, you're my boyfriend now, or you're my girlfriend now, and that's it. And then, you know, it's just going to be easy. In my opinion, just like a lot of people want what's convenient and comfortable.
Convenient and comfortable, yep.
Opposed to just really growing and getting to know a person before you actually make a commitment.
Yeah.
And from that commitment, whatever it, you know, grows into. But if people took the time to get to know, you know, who the fuck they dealing with, shit. It'll alleviate a lot of problems, because you might be dating somebody and, you know, let them go off and do their thing, you know, whatever, you know, have dealings with other people. And then, you know, as you get to know, you find out, you know, it wouldn't work for me in a relationship. Like, we always going to be cool, but it's just not going to work for me. So all that comes down to is the conversation.
That time, though, are we in a space where people have time for anything?
Nah, we in the microwave era. And it has to happen. And we need to look happy in 10 seconds or less, or in a minute.
I would say as people who do a good job, I would say do a pretty good job at being aware, and looking in and learning and using that in your day to day. That it's on us as well, man. Just to. It's not just one side.
When you say that, what do you mean, G?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
When you say that, what do you mean?
Like, I think there's a lot more work that needs to be done, and this isn't shitting on my guys, man, but this is a lot more work that needs to be done on the male side as well, just as a pickup, because what tends to happen is that you understand that you have the flaws that you have from whatever it is that you dealt with in life, and aren't willing to, and think that the next person is just supposed to fill those holes as relationships are. But what are you doing in filling their holes? Are you doing? You look at their mishaps or whatever, and that's the thing that is like that's the reason why I'm going elsewhere, is to fill those holes.
Yeah.
No, you fill those holes as if they are. I mean, as they're doing that to you as well.
Yeah.
If that's the person that you're trying to deal with, otherwise. Bro, you understand how much time you wasting by lingering and keeping somebody just basically on a leash,
Right?
Like that, where they could have been with somebody.
They could have been
was,
happy. Yeah,
they could have been figuring that out. You know what I'm saying? With somebody that was willing to fill those holes. So that's just really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of times that we have, you know, the fellas out here, and I'm still not shitting on fellas, man. Just listen.
Nah, you definitely on the man bashing shit, G. I don't know who you are right now, man. I'm messing with you. I'm messing. Nah, keep going. You say some
just hear me out, man. But it's a lot of times, man, on the fella side, man, where it's a lot of misleading, bro. And of course, as women are themselves that are looking and would like this to work out, this fairy tale thing that you have in your head. Guy says that, strokes that part of there, and now they're in.
Yeah.
And then you're out.
Yep.
And then they're shit
stuck.
out of luck.
Yeah.
They're still in this bitch, which is cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool. That's a part of life, but that's where we're seeing a disconnect, and we're not gonna have, we're not gonna have those relationships are gone.
Yeah.
Ain't no time to spend on shit.
Do y'all think that the roles? Well, I've been feeling like lately that a lot of the roles have reversed. Like women are getting a little bit more in they
adapted. They had to.
Yeah, adapted back to where they. I don't want to say cold, but they just move a little bit less attached to guys.
100%.
And guys are getting more attached and more possessive of a.
Yep.
Well, that's what you get, nigga. That was from time. That was from the time spent. Fucking it up,
fucking off all their good years.
Right.
Now it's like, okay, because you gotta understand these are the women
scoring teaches that shit down. Bro.
These are the daughters of the scoring women.
Exactly.
Right.
And it's the most impressive shit in the world because they don't have time for no bullshit. They watch their mom get dragged through a whole bunch of bullshit. Yep. So you can't pull none of that shit on them. It's actually quite impressive when you talk to a woman that's just like, nigga, what? Like,
know
what
the game.
No, the game
back of their hand.
through and through. Get the fuck away from me with that. And they aren't. And so I'm impressed by it. And so it's created a new dichotomy where everyone has to adapt and approach it different with a newfound of respect, a newfound set of tools, and get on one accord. But now all of that is completely put people in opposite corners where it ain't really no working through that. If you catch something now, shit, man, hold on.
The mouthpiece is different, bro. You're not just using the mouthpiece now, bro. Like you using some. You got to show some shit.
You have to actually display it. Huh?
For who?
What you mean?
Who mouthpiece not working? I ain't never had an issue.
I said the
that.
mouthpiece is different.
Oh,
yeah,
well,
like you're not just using the mouthpiece portion of it because I mean you can definitely use that for the game portion, yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, but you gotta also understand.
But that's what I'm saying. The game is dead. Like
exactly.
The jig is up. Like ain't no game.
Right.
It's just real ass conversation. Like you bet, fellas. If y'all still playing that game shit, my nigga.
Do y'all have a tough time meeting women?
No.
Is that what you got out of
that? Nah. I wasn't insinuating that. I'm just asking, do you guys have tough time meeting women?
No. It's a lot of amazing women out there.
So we talking about this for the guys out there that
it's just a fascinating topic because women get a bad rap right now.
Right.
And
a bad?
What? There's so many niggas out here bashing women right now. That they're just dealing with the wrong ones.
Okay.
And that's always been my beef where it's just like, wait, where are you going to meet women if this is how you feel?
Yeah.
Like you really not out fucking around at the places that you should be fucking around at if this is the fuck. Yo. That was a punch.
Super punch.
We had gotten through a lot anyway in our relationship, male, female dynamic shit. I feel like we need to have some women present for that conversation. We keep saying it too, but we'll figure out some people to have. And Amber been trying to come sit down with us for a while. Her podcast is doing pretty good.
Who? Amber?
Yeah.
Amber?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So thought that might be tight. We gotta check with some political connects first before we push that button. Shout out to Am. That's my nigga forever. She know it. Ooh, he just made that shit.
Okay.
Did y'all watch any of the Tekashi Breakfast Club shit?
Yeah.
You watched all of it? Mm-hmm. Did you watch it, G?
I told that nigga to watch it.
Lex, did you watch it?
I watched some of it.
You watched some of it? I don't want to talk about it a lot. Do y'all listen to Tekashi's music?
Just the main track.
Do you listen to it at all? Mm-hmm. The music? You gotta go.
You got it.
El's gonna step out. Do you listen to the music at all?
Just the main shit, like the like Billy, Fifi was cool.
Yeah.
Am I the only one that be feeling like he just got an aggressive juvenile flow?
Aggressive juvie flow. No, I wouldn't. I
not
wouldn't.
juvie.
Yeah, I wouldn't say juvie. I don't know. I don't know what the classified is, but I find myself enjoying the music, and I don't want to. But that's just some hater shit. Like I don't want to like the music.
Why?
But why don't I want to like it?
Yeah.
Why don't? Excuse me. Why don't I want to like it?
Mm-hmm.
It's because of what it's doing to the others. The outsiders that are infiltrating rap music, and so I subscribe to the Queen's Flip. I subscribe to a lot of shit that Queen's Flip produces on his podcast, his YouTube channel. So I watch a lot of the shit, and he has this main character on there, TMS, Too Much Swag.
Yeah.
And the one thing out of TMS's mouth is 6ix9ine gets to do it. 6ix9ine gets to do it, and so he's completely subscribed to this trolling idea that literally may get him killed. And so Tekashi doubles down on that in the interview, and I had to turn it off because I was like, yo, fam might actually die. Like some of the shit that he was saying was just perpetuating death, and we've seen this movie before, so to pretend like we've never seen it before, it just, all in all, just made my stomach turn, and I was like, yo, I don't want to keep feeding into this when fam is talking about like not being able to be touched in a way where we know better. We know no one's untouchable. Like we've seen it. We've seen the most untouchable niggas get like that's usually how it happens. And the one thing that he was talking about with it being from some internal shit was just like that's exactly how it always happens. And so it looks like that's just gonna get worse before it gets better. So I didn't want to talk about the interview, but there was a particular part where he talked about therapy in there, where he was like, "You ain't going to sit down with nobody to talk about my problems," and how rampant and consistent that is throughout the communities. And part of me just wants to understand what everyone's pushback is to therapy. Have you guys ever seen a therapist? Either of you? No. You have?
Tons of just fucked up shit.
Yeah.
Brother passed away, all sorts of shit.
But were you resistant to it at any point? Did it take a minute for you to get into it?
It took a minute for me to even go.
Got you.
When I was younger, I was like, because I feel like it also has to deal with the people that you're around. Cause everybody else is going through all the same shit. They ain't going to talk to nobody about it. They just dealing with the shit.
Yeah.
So then you like, I should be strong enough to go ahead and just
deal with it.
Really, we all fucking mentally hurt.
Yeah.
And we need to go try to get that out and just talk about it and figure out some shit.
Exactly.
And so it took me a couple of years before I actually went.
Uh-huh.
And then once I went, and then we started talking about a whole lot of other shit.
Yeah.
Then it connected a whole bunch of dots to other shit that I was doing that I didn't realize.
Exactly.
Connected to other shit.
G, we're talking about the 6ix9ine interview, but in particular the portion of where Charlemagne was inquiring about therapy and going to see someone. He lost his dad in a traumatic way and a lot of shit that he'd been through, and he just was completely dismissive of the whole notion of therapy. So I asked Lex and Poe, had they ever been? Poe said no. Lex said yeah. I want to assume you have, but I'm not sure. Have you been to a therapist before? Never. What are your stance on it? What is your stance on therapy at all?
I think it's helpful for certain people in certain situations. I think.
Are you resistant to it?
I wouldn't say I was resistant. I think for my particular situation and where I would need a therapy, I couldn't find a therapist. So because I think a lot of times with therapy you have to find the correct one.
No, 100%.
And not someone who's just going by the book needed to do sessions. So that's the part that kind of you get lost in on the whole thing. Like, of course, with like a Charlemagne, you can find a top-notch therapist. We got that part. But also, I mean, I don't know. I think I just study way too much psychology to really put my faith in therapy, unfortunately. I think it's good to talk to people, have conversations, and get different perspectives on different things that you might be going through. And therapy is if you really can't get to the bottom of it, professional would definitely help out. But I don't know. Sometimes it's just best to have a conversation if you have good people to have conversations with. If you don't, then have a conversation with them.
Paul, you the same?
Yeah, I feel like if you don't know how to process your emotions or what you may be going through on your own, then yeah, definitely seek out therapy. But I think that I'm okay with being with myself in my own confines of like a room or whatever, and just processing shit. And if I ever needed to vent or try to process some type of information or what I might be going through, I have people that I can reach out to. So
Gotcha.
I think a lot of people that don't feel like they don't want to be judged, or they don't have somebody that they can confide into.
And then, okay, so maybe I'm in the minority, or Lex and I are in the minority, because it's essentially what 6ix9ine was saying. He echoed similar to what you guys are saying too. I guess I wanted to understand more, but the way you guys just broke it down, I can see that 100% now. I happen to be one of those few in the minority that lucked up and found somebody that I respected and cared and had a unique enough perspective. So it is, G, you're 100% right when you say you got to find the right person. For a lot of people, that's someone of same nationality or race.
Definitely.
For some people, they need the opposite sex. For some people, they need the same sex. A lot of people need different things. I just so happen to run into...
Some people need group.
Some people need group therapy, true. I just so happen to be lucky to run into a very well-cultured and extremely smart white lady that was on her sabbatical that I respected in the utmost. And it happened in a setting that was sort of super non-formal, and it was already established that she gave a fuck more than anything. And I can honestly say the things that I was suffering from, I couldn't have uncovered alone, just because I was expressing them. I was expressing myself and acting out in a way that lent to something deeper being there that I personally couldn't uncover. So I hope it never feels like I'm trying to jam that down anyone's throat. It should save my life. So I have a different testimony to it and a different relationship to it, coming from the dynamics in which how my family was and the role that I thought I was playing and all these different things that I 100% had to uncover to get to this point today. So I know that can probably sound annoying when somebody's always trying to talk about that and bring it up, but it so happens to be my truth, and where I'm at. But I wanted to talk about that from the 6ix9ine interview and get some clarity, and my niggas gave me some clarity, so that was dope.
Yeah, and it's a touchy topic, and unfortunately, in the Black community, talking about therapy and stuff like that, just because our wiring is so much different. We weren't supposed to really work on ourselves that type of way. Like, at least talk to people about our problems. We're supposed to just keep pushing and doing things and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I would never say don't do therapy. I would say if you're lucky to come across the right therapist, because you can go through a bunch of them before you actually get to the one that's right for yourself. Yeah. And also just time, man. Like the amount of time, because I can say for my personal journey that, I mean, to the outside eye, you could say that I lost out on 3 years of going through my shit. But truthfully, I mean, with the type of shit that I endured, it wasn't so much that a therapist would have been the best form of action with telling me the best way to cope with my situation. Like, I wouldn't say that's the smartest thing. And I think that a lot of times that's what therapy can be geared towards, is getting to the deep rooted problems in yourself. But sometimes some things are just, it's beyond our mental capacity. And regardless of somebody from the outside looking in, inside looking out, it's beyond you. It's beyond all that. And if you know, that's where people turn to religion and all that stuff like that. But also there's sometimes you can't just give that away to that either. So you're kind of in that space where, you know, what exactly do you do? And that part is where time steps in, because you have your good days, you have your fucking horrible ass days.
Yeah.
And just keeping on, you over time build a whole new shield.
Yeah.
Stronger than the one that you had before.
And I want to be careful with that too, because not everyone's as strong as you, G. I've seen it. We've seen it a lot, where people do subscribe to that in isolation, and they don't make it out the other side.
Yeah.
It's a real fine line. So but you've always been one of the strongest people I know. So I commend you for it, but I also want to be careful and say, hey, if you are going through some shit, please reach out and seek proper help, because there's a lot of motherfuckers pretending to be able to help that can't necessarily help in a professional manner. And there's people that know what they're doing, but it all is super subjective to your makeup and your being and knowing yourself. The unfortunate part is sometimes by the time we realize what we need, we don't necessarily know ourselves, and sometimes it's too late. So yeah, for me, I'm gonna continue to be an advocate for it and see to it that people are communicating and feel safe, at the very least feel safe enough to express needing some additional assistance.
Point taken.
We took another somber ass turn before we got out of here, but wanted to go back to the Draymond and KD shit. Is the talk of the week. People reporting all kind of crazy shit before they had any actual information, and people still don't really know what's happening. They're all speculating, but we're all former athletes, and we've had to coexist in that space, and testosterone and wanting to win, and shit gets said. Shit gets said, and people deal all kinds of ways. So I don't want to speculate about what we think was said. Fuck all that. Like, none of that actually matters, because truth of the matter is what was actually said is way worse than what we could ever speculate was actually said. Is what I'm garnering from the KD's press conference. Did you guys see that?
Mm-mm. The what?
KD's
post conference? Yeah.
Just the energy he had and how he was responding to that shit. I was like, oh, whatever was said. That's when I text y'all. I was like, yo, whatever was actually said is 10 times worse than what their reporting was said, because of the energy KD had in his press conference. That wasn't after the game. Was that after?
That was right after the game.
That was right after the game.
That was
because Draymond wasn't
that
available. That was the next day.
That was after Draymond suspended, the game they played afterwards.
Exactly. So that
was like the next day.
Yeah, that was the next day. But it was just the energy he had, Poe, and what he was saying. He was like, I don't care. He's like, yo, him getting suspended. He's like, I don't care about none of that. I was just like, okay, all right, bet. But what I wanted to talk about with y'all is when everybody's forced to pick a side, right? Mm-hmm. In business especially, and so we're watching the Warriors as a franchise go. This is what we doing. Just so everybody know what time it is. We're all in. We normally kill a franchise for not doing that. At least I would. Mm-hmm. Not making it clear, not coming out and betting the house on their sure thing. Normally would, because we see it all the time where they kind of try to downplay it. Oh, you ain't that important. We got Steph, we got Clay, we got all this shit, right? We got all the amenities that we need already. Something I was annoyed by it initially, because to me, Draymond is the motor that keeps that. Like, if they lose Draymond, I don't think it works that well. But that's not for them to know. Like, they're completely buying into the glitz and glamour that is the Warriors now. So they not tripping off the dirty work shit. To them, Draymond's expendable. They can go get another one.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So giving them a complete pass on that one and getting to the idea that they're gonna treat this KD thing like, oh no, we got to pull out all the stops to keep KD, because if we let KD walk, we're idiots.
Yeah.
And part of me respected that shit. Because so often you see GMs and ownership try to play it cheap or play it too cool, and they like, nah, fam, whatever this luxury tax is gonna be, we gonna pay it. I was fucking with it. I was. So them suspending Draymond is them picking their side and going, hey, KD, whatever your price tag is, we gonna pay it.
Right.
You know, because then it puts all the onus on KD to walk away from the bread, knowing that the checkbook is open. Silicon Valley is here. Y'all making all the KD's portfolio is stupid now.
Yeah.
From being here. So now, and it still is up to him whatever he wanted to do. But now I just respected the team so much for going, hey man, this is what it is. What time it is? What you gonna do? Mm-hmm. What did y'all think when they suspended Draymond without pay for that game?
They drew the line in the sand.
Yeah, line in the sand. Were you mad at it? What did you think?
I thought the league had suspended him. That's why I was confused. I was like, damn, why did he get suspended? And then they said, nah, the team.
The team suspended.
I was like, oh, they trying to say, nigga, you out of pocket and you fucking up this shit over here we trying to have go on.
We trying to get it booming.
It said Draymond's out of there. Well, no, KD's leaving. But they getting rid of Draymond too.
You think KD's gone?
Yeah.
G, what you think? That nigga hit me with the.
Yeah, no, I wasn't. I don't. To tell you the truth, I don't really care about neither one of these guys. But
you got now. You can no. You gotta say why. You gotta say why.
Oh, why?
You can't just say that and then try to keep talking.
Just get right to my.
Yeah. You gotta tell us why you don't fuck with KD or Draymond.
You said what?
You the smoothest nigga in the room.
Bro,
you said that so cool.
Right?
You were like, I don't really care about that.
Neither one of these cats. Nah. Draymond, I've never really fooled with Draymond, bro. There's something about him, and that's just off the court and on the court. So, but it's cool. But KD, man, it's just, bro, for one, the move that he made, of course, we can get that one past us. But also that my man is out there making fake accounts to respond to people that ain't real in the first place. It's just beyond me.
I'm gonna let y'all know right now. I'm in everybody comments on the Meet the Brave account, nigga. So I'm, and then it's gonna be one of y'all when they find out it was Poe. It was him. It wasn't me. I'm hating on all the shit I be wanting to say that I can't say. I think I'll be talking so crazy. No, I don't. I'm fucking with y'all. But you mad at my man for having a burner account?
I'm not mad. I was just that type of stuff like that. Stuff like that is where I was just kind of completely indifferent on you, bro.
It
like,
says a lot, yeah.
Hey, I can care less about whether you succeed or fail at whatever the hell you got going on.
Yeah.
But with this particular situation, it was just, I mean, that was business in a nutshell, and you start to see as a team transitions to the big money where what they're going to care about in the future is nothing that was their building blocks to get into this point.
Mm-hmm. Ever.
As a if you are a fan of them and you are from Oakland, that part of that part might have hurt your soul and just a little bit.
People from the town still don't recognize that though, or people pretending to be Warrior fans still don't recognize.
Just enjoying the glitz and glamour right now.
Yeah, they're
still stuck in the sauce
because they still can, and it's gonna be too late. And by the time they get in Chase Center and then wins depreciate, because it's the same shit. I'm telling y'all, The 49ers did the same shit.
Yeah, they got to the point.
They
That's
built
what you always want to do in business, man. You just want to be overvalued.
Built that shit, got overvalued. They built that bullshit stadium in Santa Clara. Ain't nobody driving to that fucking stadium.
Nope.
And they're going to do the same thing. Nick, you can't get into San Francisco.
Nope.
At all.
You cannot get into there. Bart is
no matter
ass.
what y'all create. What other extra
toll going up?
Toll going up.
$9?
Everything's going up. Like it's sick, man. It's sick. So it's just like they got to bank on K, because if KD leaves, that whole situation crumbles. The Chase Center is it. Nigga, they gonna have a concert in there every weekend, nigga. It's gonna be a concert in there year round.
They're not gonna re-sign Draymond. And then KD's gonna be in limbo or acting like he's in limbo, but then he gonna dip after they don't re-sign Draymond.
And then it's gonna be left with the Splash Brothers.
I think Clay.
You think Clay?
They can give Clay money if both of them niggas.
No, I
leave,
think
so.
Clay gone.
Yeah,
Clay been making his moves.
So they just gonna implode the whole shit?
Why not? We got
all you need is Steph.
Steph, yeah, the most likable player in the league.
Ooh.
But
that's gonna be a harsh reality, bro.
It's gonna be super harsh. But and that just going back to the particular play though.
Yeah.
What was my man supposed to do?
What was who supposed to do?
Draymond.
Give the fucking ball up? We can't talk a basketball play. If niggas don't see, Draymond was dead ass wrong.
That's how I felt. That's what I'm saying. It's like
wrong.
the weak ass nigga that's on your team grab the rebound over you and run straight down the court, and you just sitting there like, what the fuck are you doing?
Right. The only reason why he was wrong was because my man slipped and fell.
He barely had his dribble.
But he does that shit.
No,
all
he
the time.
he does do that all the
and
time.
And also, let's not forget that this is a regular season game, bro. Like, what are y'all out here doing? My nigga, y'all only 14 games into the season, bro. Why you having blow-ups about not giving KD the ball underneath the other basket?
Absolutely
right. This isn't foreshadowing to a playoff game, but
you're 100%
underneath the basket. You're underneath the other person's basket, and you got your hands clapping at a grown ass man that's in the league as well, bro. You better come on, bro. Nigga, this ain't OKC, and also in OKC you couldn't do that in OKC.
And so you ain't never clapped for the ball.
I have. But I also wasn't other team basket with 14 with what 7 seconds on the clock.
Gee, I'm not about to. He's only doing this because he don't fuck with KD.
That's what
I'm not
saying.
letting him get away with this.
They
Draymond was dead
spot.
ass wrong, bro.
What was KD about to do? Shoot it from the other basket?
Nigga, KD can get. I'm not talking to him. We used to do 7-second drills getting from end to end. Nigga, what? KD could have gotten to the other 3-point line.
I think he's about to get a half quarter up.
No, stop! Don't do that.
Hey, do y'all feel like that rebound grab was spiteful though?
No, the rebound grab wasn't spiteful. The looking him off was spiteful.
Okay,
so some things
after he grabbed that rebound,
but then that's all confirmed when part of the banter is, oh, bitch ass nigga, you was gonna leave. You leaving anyway. So he's harboring something. So he looked him off, my nigga. Like the rebound, not mad at, but the looking him off is because, oh, bitch ass nigga, you leaving anyway. Like, gee, you not gonna, just because you don't like KD, you not gonna sit up here and defend that play. Draymond was trash for that. We're not getting a last second bucket with you.
We don't know that. The world may never know now.
Bro, they went into overtime too.
I know this was good. This wasn't this. That's what I'm saying. Like they're treating this like just because the Warriors have so many eyes on them and there's so much coverage and it's big.
This is the first time these niggas are getting any scrutiny though, and they've been doing fuck shit for their whole reign.
Exactly, because it's never been an implosion. It's never been an implosion.
No. The rings are legit, but I'm just saying the bullshit that they have go on in and around the team doesn't get scrutinized the way it does because they're the darlings, or they were the darlings. KD comes and they're no longer the darlings now. Like, you feel me? Yeah. Which is rightfully so, you know, but they still don't get it. It's still, when you have, so you got 4 All-Stars, right? Mm-hmm. In every given year, 4 of your players take up the 4 slots on the All-Star team. That shit's unheard of.
Yeah.
One of them goes down, and the entire league gives you a pass on losing. I've never seen no shit like that. You got 4 All-Stars, 1 goes down, and you still get a pass for losing with 3 All-Stars.
Well, yeah,
and the coach of the year for 2 years.
And they didn't talk about how the year before, when they actually won their first championship to even get going, they were without Kyrie and Kevin Love. It was just Bron by himself.
But that's the point that I'm making.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's
it's skewed.
Just giving more info on what you was talking about.
Yeah, it's skewed for. I can't watch it, and then it's a bunch of non-basketball known motherfuckers walking around having these conversations like none of y'all niggas gave a fuck about hoop prior to. I can't take y'all serious. I can't take y'all serious
at all. But with this play, man, I gotta stop treating this like it was. You gotta stop treating this like it was Jr. grabbing the rebound and running it back out to the 3-point line.
In game one,
in game one when Bron got 51 points and at Oracle.
Why don't nobody talk about that part of it? Bron played his ass off, and so they're like, "Why he's so mad about that? You got to go into overtime." That's not the point. You get to steal game one in the championship. Right. That changes
the entire climate.
Right. And niggas like, oh, Bron was tripping, man. No, Bron actually wasn't mad enough. I would have put hands on JR. We would have had to fight about that. Nigga, we did everything we needed to do to steal game one and to put some doubt in these niggas' mind like, oh, we for real.
That's it.
And yo dumbass, what?
That climate is completely different.
Nigga,
niggas palms are sweating.
See, that's why I be getting mad watching like the first take shows and because they never talk about the shit that they should talk about. No one brought that point up at all about I'm going back on some championship shit, but no one brought that point up. And then what no one else is bringing up is a point L brought up. Like, I'm making fun of L, but he's right, nigga. This is only the 14th game in the regular season, and we mad about who taking the last shot.
That's what happens when you're on top, bro. You just don't have enough. You don't have enough problems, so you got to create the fuck out of a problem. Like this. That's what this was, and that's probably what Draymond was feeling deep down. Like, bro, like
Draymond telling that bitch ass nigga he leaving anyway is hilarious.
Nigga, I had a championship before you even got on the scene, and then with us catering to every need that you have 2 Finals MVPs.
We made you, nigga.
So, nigga, why don't you just enjoy your glitz, bro?
You know that Draymond saying that we made you, bro. If a nigga told me he made me, I'd be hot.
Is he wrong?
He not wrong, but that's the whole. That's the part that hurt. That's the part that really hurt. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. It's like he's not wrong, but then at the same time, I'm Finals MVP the last 2 years because y'all had to pretend to give it to Andre Iguodala for LeBron averaging 34 on him.
That's you skewing the narrative.
But no,
though.
But G, it was so bad that Andre Iguodala got Finals MVP for getting 34 a game dropped on him. KD shows up.
Everybody that goes against LeBron in championship gets the Finals
MVP. Kawhi got the Finals MVP, nigga, for getting a 30-piece averaged on him.
Everybody that goes against him,
bro, don't hang that trophy up in your house and have me be your partner. Every Thanksgiving you hearing about that. Nigga, you got a 30-piece dropped on you. You got the Finals MVP. Don't gloat about that, bro. Please don't.
Every time.
So now KD's like, doubt y'all right, but nigga, guarantee y'all lose them next 2 without me, is what he said. And I don't think he's wrong. Those are different teams. Andre Iguodala being out as long as he was against the Rockets, I don't know if they survived that shit without KD.
They were going to lose.
Yeah, but okay, so if we're going to say that then, if we're going to say that, where the hell was KD going to be at during that time?
What you mean?
If the Warriors are gonna lose those 2 championships and KD's mind frame could be that stance, where the hell was KD about to be at those 2 years?
Him and Russ.
Nigga still was about to have no hardware.
No, that's why it's so fascinating because everybody's right. Draymond going into the locker room telling that nigga he made him, bro. It's funny. I don't care what nobody say. If a nigga come in the locker room and say, nigga, we made you. Bro, them rings don't mean nothing. KD don't like them rings, bro. I promise you.
He don't.
Because them niggas is telling him every step of the way, it's a nigga around saying, nigga, they made you. KD hear all of that.
Like, nigga, you joined the super team. What are you talking about?
Damn, man.
He got asterisks on the side of his rings. That's crazy.
Damn.
It's true, though. I know he want to go out there and go get his own, like, go to the Knicks if he got a ring. But then,
okay, but see, that's another conversation I wanted to have with
you. He don't want no problem with Giannis, the next level Giannis. Don't go out east.
Why is that a thing? Why do you have to have your own when you can't win this shit by yourself?
Because they'll never respect you. Just like Brian getting his ring with Miami, he had to go back to Cleveland and get a ring.
Dog, those are like I dead ass the bronze rings in Miami, KD's joints here. The Warriors don't win those without KD. They needed him. I don't care what nobody say. They absolutely needed him. Gee, I know you feel differently. They needed him to win those two. Those are two different teams, completely different teams from the one that won. It's just a different team, bro. Like dead ass. So same with Brian.
Bro, they had 3 All-Stars already.
The 3 All-Stars that the jig was up. I don't know. I don't have any proof because it didn't happen. So we're talking about what ifs, and it sounds stupid.
I mean, we could insert any of the top 10 small forwards in that same exact spot, and they're going to win.
I disagree.
So I don't think that win, like probably the amount of wins in a year, but the championship frame did not change.
I think it changed, man. KD's different. KD,
he is.
He's different, dude. That nigga can ball, like
he can,
lights out. And then so to say,
I'm not taking that from him.
So to say his rings don't matter, it bothers me. To say bronze in Miami don't matter. That team, Dwayne Wade and them damn near couldn't make the playoffs before he got there. You see what's happening in Cleveland right now. They 2-12.
No, but that's a different person though. So that's where it's not. That's where you can't compare the two.
No. I'm not.
Like
but
the
I'm
difference
not,
between 1 and number 2 is a very big difference.
I'm not comparing the two, G. I'm comparing the situations where everybody keeps doing this thing. Like you can't. And I'm not. This is not even at y'all. This is at all the announcers, the Chucks, and all them going. Oh, we don't respect them building a super team. Da 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 da. Man, Chuck was in Phoenix with Dan Marley, Kevin Johnson, him. That team was loaded, and they couldn't win.
And then they went to the Rockets.
And then so Chuck can't tell me if he had an opportunity to go play because he did it.
Right.
He did it. It was a few years too late when he got to Houston.
Right.
But if he could have did it earlier, he would have, so that he could walk, so that he could not only be known as one of the best players ever, but that he could actually have a ring.
Right.
So I'm just saying, people pick a side. Don't say, oh, super team, da 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 da. Cats is taking less money for the super teams. Niggas is going to get a ring because all everybody's been telling them is that you ain't shit without a ring. If I'm Brian, if I'm KD, if I'm Kawhi, if I'm any of these players, I've watched how there's an asterisk by Dan Marino's career. He could be the greatest quarterback, but he don't have a ring like Steve Young and him. Dan Marino, fucking Steve Young couldn't stand next to Dan Marino if he wanted to. Dan Marino's the greatest quarterback ever, but because he don't have a ring, don't nobody talk about him like that.
Hey, there's a guy named Tom Brady over here.
That fucking Tom Brady couldn't carry Dan Marino's jockstrap, nigga.
Joe Montana.
Shit. Yeah. It's Dan Marino and it's the rest of these niggas, bro. I'm telling you.
He couldn't deal with the targets that Tom Brady's had over his career.
Oh shit, here you go.
That nigga had no. He's made targets.
Tom Brady cooking the books every step of the way, and we gonna talk about him as a go.
You can't deny touchdown.
I'm not. Touchdown Tom.
Touchdown Tom.
Y'all sick.
Got a nice ring to it, don't it?
Y'all sick.
What he did to Atlanta in that Super Bowl?
Atlanta got bullshit ass Matt Ryan, bro. I keep telling y'all,
they was up. I walked out at halftime.
But that's how trash you are. When you up like that and you lose, it's because you got a mediocre ass quarterback that you don't trust.
He gave him 42 points.
Mediocre ass quarterback that you don't trust. I'm telling you, it's just mediocrity. Anyway, man, we've harped too long about shit that don't really matter.
Yeah, Monty got to get out of here, y'all.
I don't have to go nowhere. You niggas don't listen to nothing. Ain't nothing to talk about.
Send y'all frustrations to at Monty, free Money.
It ain't nothing. These niggas, we've been doing this podcast for how many weeks now? Niggas, I ain't listening to nothing. I ain't listening to shit. What?
This was really a week where I didn't.
You got one job to do.
Send your demos.
Post live in the car and couldn't listen to the music.
Draper Management at gmail.com.
Like, good night.
Any beats, business inquiries, whatever you want to do.
So that's what you come to the podcast to do.
Yeah, somebody got to plug you.
Here this nigga go.
He's working on his next project. We're not gonna throw out the title yet, but be on the lookout.
Sound good.
We'll do better next week.
You're not doing no projects?
Nope, I'm done rapping. That's it. Podcast money.
Podcast money.
That's a hot take.
Nah, man, I can't even do the R&B shit no
Not
more.
doing music at all.
Nah, no more music. Fuck music.
I feel you.
It's a wash.
You,
That was Meet the Brave.
Get these ideas off, money.
Episode 37, man. We'll do better next week. Get these niggas to consume something so we can talk about just anything. It'd be nice to have a conversation.
We was talking about stuff. We got a lot of stuff to cover. We talk about relationships, therapy. We talk about a lot of things that people care about.
Come on, world. Help me care about some more stuff throughout the week, world. What y'all doing publicly?
It's Meet the Brave. I'm your host, Monty Draper.
Eyes LG.
Wampo.
Yeah.
Lex Bub.
Lex Bub, man. We'll see you guys next week.
All right.